The Concerned Educators Against Forced Unionism brings you this inspiring victory for teachers at St. Hope Charter School.
Hello, I'm Mark Mix, president of the National Right to Work Legal Defense Foundation. Today, I'm thrilled to share another major victory for public employees and teacher freedom, this time over an unwanted National Education Association union at St. Hope Public Schools in Sacramento, California. St. Hope is a high-performing public charter school founded by NBA All-Star and former Sacramento Mayor Kevin Johnson, who is deeply committed to educational excellence and student success. Joining me is our staff attorney, Christian Wilson, who led this case from start to finish and helped these teachers secure a hard-fought win. Christian, welcome. It's good to have you here, and thank you for your outstanding work on behalf of these educators. Walk us through how these teachers overcame an uphill battle to decertify the NEA-affiliated union.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me here. Very happy to be here. Basically, this all starts in 2018 when the union gained the certification over the unit through a majority card check, not an election. And so this is kind of crucial to understanding the stage of this case. Is California state law has a bit of an aversion to elections in some ways. It's very easy for the union to get in the workplace, but extremely difficult for them to get out. So, under California law, basically, union doesn't need an election to get in, but it does need an election to get out.
In 2018, the NEA union gained control through a card check, not a secret ballot election. 3 years later, with no contract, the teachers sought a decertification election to give the teachers a voice and a vote. The union responded with blocking charges that postponed the election for years.
That begins the complaint process for PERB, and then there's all kinds of procedural hurdles that employees go through throughout that process.
Yeah, basically denying them the right to have a secret ballot election on whether the union should stay or go, right?
Yeah,
they blocked it. I mean, this is not really rocket science, but the PERB has a bias in this regard. I think we found that out, right?
Yeah, and subject to all kinds of continuances, and PERB is not known for its speed in terms of getting through these unfair labor practice cases. So you fast forward 5 years in 2026, and PERB hasn't even scheduled the initial evidentiary hearing yet.
Wow.
These charges, or accusations by labor union officials, are often used to block and delay employees from having a vote to remove the union. 5 years passed with no hearing. The original petitioner eventually left the school. In 2026, the teachers took a new approach and filed with the National Labor Relations Board.
And they were trying to figure out how to remove the union. Should they file another petition with PERB? And that's when they contacted the foundation, and we decided to go with the NLRB.
Good. Well, that's great. So they'd gone through all this, and immediately the bureaucracy blocks them from exercising what limited rights they have in the workplace. And then they call here at the foundation, you climb on board, and all of a sudden there's a new legal theory. You decided to file a second petition, but this time not with the Personnel Employee Relations Board in California, but with the National Labor Relations Board, which is the federal agency that adjudicates private sector labor law, right?
Right.
This raised a critical question. Did the NLRB have jurisdiction over St. Hope Charter School teachers?
The NLRB looked at the board of directors. They looked at Kevin Johnson created the charter school. He was
with his own money and his own foundation, right? Is that right? Yeah.
He was a private individual at the time. He later served as mayor of Sacramento. But the NLRB's process is that they have to establish jurisdiction before you make a ruling on the election. So that was obviously challenged. And so this Hawkins County test was really fleshed out in that hearing, and ultimately the NLRB found that there's no appointment or removal power over the board of directors by the school district. In almost every way, the charter school management is just independently run and fits into that Hawkins County framework.
Yeah.
This case shows that control depends on structure, not public service. The NLRB ruled St. Hope was a private employer. An election was finally scheduled.
Well, that's great. So the regional office rules in your favor. they go ahead and set an election. And tell us what happened after the election was set and the jurisdiction was established for the NLRB.
Yeah, so an election is scheduled for 2 weeks after that decision. And then a week later, the union sort of anticlimactically disclaimed interest in the unit.
And they just walked away.
Yeah.
1 week before the vote, the union disclaimed interest and walked away. The teachers were free.
So it's a case-by-case basis. If you have issues with it, I'd suggest contact the foundation. We can help out.
Yeah. Well, Christian, that's great advice. And if you hadn't have said it, I was going to say it. But Christian, congratulations on this victory. Congratulations on kind of a legal theory that found a way for these employees to exercise their rights. And exercising rights under the PERB would have been more difficult in this situation. The PERB was basically saying you're not going to get an election, right?
Right.
And the NLRB jurisdiction comes in, private sector workers, they have what are limited rights in the workplace. We got a lot of work to do yet to give employees the rights they deserve in the American workplace. But this is a good victory and just another example of how the foundation comes in with creative ideas and creative legal theories and then wins the day for employees that have the courage to stand up and fight back against this exclusive monopoly bargaining privilege and power that unions have to violate these workers' associational rights, and then, in many cases, violate that in further by forcing them to pay dues or fees in order to get or keep a job. So this is a great victory for the foundation, and none of the Christian's work and the work that the other attorneys here at the foundation do on behalf of employees would be possible without the support of folks like you that are tuning in today to listen to this another story about the foundation winning a victory on behalf of workers. So we're grateful. Christian and I are both grateful for your support, and we're grateful to be able to do this work on behalf of employees, not only in California, but in all 49 states where we have litigation right now at this day. We have 298 active cases at the foundation, and they're all on behalf of employees looking to exercise their rights in the American workplace. And that work is only possible because of your support. We're grateful for it, and we thank you for tuning in to listen to another victory here at the National Right to Work Legal Defense Foundation. Thanks, Christian.
Oh, thank you.
For more information about this case or about your rights when confronted by union officials, use the links included in this posting. Thank you for watching.